You may have seen the viral clips from the Whatever podcast where people discuss dating and relationships and cultural issues. Well, the corporate press is outraged. Vice and the New York Post are saying it's bait. The New York Post writes, making women look dumb is a disturbing new podcast trend. No, it isn't. Many women look dumb on a bunch of different podcasts. Many women look smart on a bunch of different podcasts. And for various reasons, some women have gone viral, either because they are smart or not smart. This is literally not a story. The reality is podcasts like Whatever, and even to a certain extent, podcasts like we have, where we discuss ideas with individuals who sometimes are not all that bright, generate viral clips. Why? We just did a show with Lance from the Surfs. And there was a particularly viral clip where he said he was in favor of total abortion, but didn't think pregnant women should be allowed to do meth because that would intentionally kill the baby, which kind of contradicts what he was just saying. We were talking about if the baby can survive and is viable and it must be removed from the woman, why kill the baby? And he says, because it's her body, she can do whatever she wants. And it's like, okay, but the baby can live and it's got to come out anyway. Why kill it in the process? You see, that was the point. And many said it made him look stupid. I don't know, maybe you agree with his point or whatever. My point is this. Are they going to write news articles saying we're making men look dumb? No. I love this. Here's the story from the New York Post. For shame. A podcast with hundreds of thousands of subscribers and followers across online platforms is stoking the flames of controversy by belittling female guests and making them look dumb. Whatever, hosted by Brian Atlas, masquerades as a dating talk show while delving into gender roles, body counts, and the legitimacy of the patriarchy. The podcast team uses social media to seek women panelists, only to later roast them online in snippets, pandering to the virality of the inflammatory hot takes. In other words, it's perfect clickbait, except they're lying. The real issue is the women who are more likely to be conservative or traditional tend to look smarter and have more well thought out beliefs than the average woman that ends up coming on. That is to say, in this image you see here from the Whatever podcast, why, there's liberal commentator Destiny. Spicy fella. Are they insulting him? No, because he holds his own. He's a smart guy. You don't got to agree with him. There's Mary Morgan. She's the co-host of Pop Culture Crisis. Are they roasting her? Nope. She holds her own. She's very smart. But what about these other women? Look, if you bring on a woman who is willing to debate the ideas that they hold when it comes to sex and dating and they sound stupid, how come you're not also making Mary look stupid? How come Lila Rose didn't look stupid? How come the clip that went viral, I think it was Lila Rose, in fact, was cheered and people said it made her look smart? Yeah. The reality is, when it comes to modern dating culture, when it comes to the excesses of urban liberals, they look stupid. That's it. Not all of them, not every single person. But how about this? Prominent lefties come on the show, I guess. Go on the show and make your position be heard. They go on to say, in one episode, the panelists, who are all women, rated themselves as 10s, much to Atlas's shock. I'm going to be honest, I'm not going to rate you guys, but none of you are a 10, he says in response, prompting a chorus of agreement in the comments by users cruelly joking about the women's weight and appearance. There's another video I watched where a guy, he's in like Times Square, and he walks up to a bunch of women. He's like, how would you rate yourself? And the women all go, I'm a 10 for sure. And he goes, okay, takes a picture, then goes to other people, to guys, and says, what number would you rate her? And they're like 7. The women are like, I'm 10s. Yeah, I guess everybody rates themselves highly. That you have to. But that's the point. Say, no, you can't just say these things. And another, Atlas grills the panelists on their body counts or how many people they've been intimate with and is met with resistance. Quote, it doesn't matter to me, but it matters to you guys, one woman said, gesturing to the men sitting across the table. So I'm not going to go and put myself out here and say my body count just for you two to ridicule me or something. Interesting. You think you would be ridiculed by the amount of men that you've been engaging in relations with? What does it say about what you think warrants ridicule? You see my point? If you are like, nobody should ridicule me, it's like, no, any number they don't like. Other guys don't like that you do it. They don't like that you do it. That's the point. They say, while OnlyFans model Nicolette Nicole admitted that her appearance on the podcast was to bolster her own following. She told Vice the clips were definitely chosen to create controversy and make her look dumb and shame her. But not any other one who's on the show. It's a big conspiracy, right? Have on a traditional woman who doesn't engage in these behaviors, men cheer for it. It's all pre-planned to trick women into being tradcons. On Twitter and TikTok, the video's provocative one-line captions lure thousands to millions of views. OnlyFans girl gets roasted, the podcast tweeted. They think they are 10. What about with no makeup? Here's another tweet. On Twitter, whatever often promotes videos from conservative commentator Ben Shapiro and Andrew Tate. Yeah. They go to insult Andrew Tate, who's not been charged with any crimes. The podcast following has grown amid backlash, with aghast critics slamming the show for talking down to women while dubbing Atlas as an Andrew Tate wannabe. Tell me you despise women without telling you despise women, and don't forget the condescension. Is it just me, or do all of those women look incredibly uncomfortable? The Post has reached out to Atlas for comment. I would just like to scroll back up to this picture, which includes Mary Morgan, who eagerly went on the show. I think she's on the show more than once, who co-hosts Pop Culture Crisis, who was not ridiculed and not mocked. And that is the point. Vice writes, the latest trend in podcasts is making women look dumb. Though whatever podcast is bait, you can stop falling for it. Stop falling for it? Now, look, here's a clip. OnlyFan girl gets roasted. Let's play it. So both of you do OnlyFans. Oh, actually, I always got to do this. You know it. I didn't set the audio properly. That's my fault. Here you go.
Nicolette.
I make a lot.
How much per month?
I think it's like kind of tacky to say like exactly how much money you make.
I mean, it's tacky to be on OnlyFans in the first place, but
shots fired.
I mean, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. That's like bad vibes right there. I'm like, oh my god.
Disagreement is bad vibes.
Okay, so let me get this straight. In this clip where they're claiming it's making fun of women, it is a woman. Brian Atlas just simply asks, so how much do you make? Normal question. And she was kind of tacky. Mary Morgan then says it's tacky to be on OnlyFans. A woman criticizing a woman, and they're like, criticizing women is a bait. It's not real. What? It was a woman criticizing this other one. Brian didn't say anything. They say routinely clips from the show go viral on Twitter, Instagram, gathering. Oh, and I also want to say shout out to to Mary for this. I think her Twitter is @MaryArchived. You can follow her on Twitter. She co-hosts Pop Culture Crisis, so watch that show if you like her hot takes. Routinely clips from the show go viral. Actually, I want to read what they say about this. Whatever they're like. Oh, they don't even mention. Look at this. Whatever bills itself as a dating podcast, and while it doesn't rank in the charts on Apple Podcasts, the YouTube channel has 4 million subscribers, get around 400,000 views each. Every week, Brian Atlas gathers a section of e-girls, models, trad wives, and your everyday college women for a 4 or 5 hour roundtable discussion of the pressing and controversial topics of the dating world. 4 or 5 hours. That's crazy, dude. Wow. We do 2 hours of Timcast, and then we do like an hour of members only. But so when they say it's making fun of women, but this clip right here that went viral and has 1 million views was quite literally a woman criticizing a woman who then criticizes back, and people like watching it. What's the problem? I think it's all nonsense. They're just mad that they look bad. They say here we go. They show it. The big clip the other week was a video shared via tweet with the caption, OnlyFan girl gets roasted. Atlas asked two young women who are guests on the show, and they as models on OnlyFans. And a woman named Nicolette Nicole replies, it's kind of tacky to say exactly how much money you make. A third woman jumps in. It's tacky to be on OnlyFans in the first place. Nicole responds, everyone is entitled to their own opinion. That's like bad vibes right there. And then Mary's like, it's bad vibes to disagree. It is hardly a roast, and certainly not one that deserves an all caps label. Sure it is. What do you mean? It went viral for a reason. The show reached out via Instagram and asked her to be a guest on the show, and she's appeared 3 times. Everything had been cordial until her final appearance, when a fellow guest began insulting her out of nowhere. This, taken from nearly a dozen hours of footage featuring Nicole, was the basis for the Twitter clip. After sitting and talking in circles for such an expended period of time, eventually someone on the panel cracks and they get a viral moment out of it, Nicole says. Yes, they pulled a clip from the show that was provocative and evocative. That's what highlight reels do. That's their purpose. Should we pull a clip where it's like, hello, nice to meet you. Hi, nice to meet you. I'm John. I'm Bill. Should we discuss ideas? We should. Bang, there's your clip from the show. Go watch it. What? You'd be like, what is the show about? I don't even know what you're talking about. The Bios podcast on Instagram reads, casting women DM us. Although whatever contacted Nicole first. Other women likely applied for a guest spot. While neither the whatever team nor Atlas responded to my request for comment, blah, 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 blah. We got to get Seamus Coughlin on that show. Seriously, whatever podcast, get Seamus Coughlin. I told Seamus to go on the show. He's got to do it. Because he's got like the most traditional religious Catholic conservative views on dating and marriage and all that stuff. And I would love to see him talk to these women because it's not just about social behaviors and beliefs. It's about Seamus bringing up data and statistics, marriage rates, divorce, and his personal ideology. I think that'd be very fantastic. But anyway, you get the point, man. Look, you can't come out. Oh, this is really, really funny. And they have these fake podcasts, whatever. What is this one? They just kind of show this. What is this?
Proud thing that all these women have going on. I mean, I don't knock women for feeling proud.
I'll pass. Nothing about this sounds enticing. So what is this? They don't even really mention what this clip is. I want to explain something real quick, too, before I wrap this up. There's a trend on Instagram where women make fake podcasts. Yes, they'll buy mic stands and microphones. Then they'll set up their phone. There's no actual podcast. And then they'll look slightly off camera and be like, dude, I am telling guys, you got to stay away from these women, blah, 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 insert point and grift, and then blah, blah, blah. And it's got 1 million views because it looks like it's from a podcast and these clips go viral. You want to talk about grifting? That's the bait. The women on Instagram making fake podcasts. A dude having a real podcast where they talk for 5 hours and then they make highlight reels? Oh, come on. Cry more. I'll leave it there. Next segment's coming up at 1 p.m. on this channel. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you all then.